Yo, 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 welcome back again today, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Bill Lester. William Alexander Lester III, also known as Bill Lester, was born on February 6, 1961. He was born in Washington, D.C., and soon after his family moved to San Francisco, California. In 1984, he would obtain his Bachelor's of Science in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. He would earn his degree at the University of California, Berkeley. This higher learning was passed down to him from his family. His father had a PhD in theoretical chemistry. His childhood was filled with math, computers, and science. Lester would also always carry around Hot Wheels and toy cars everywhere he went. It was unknown that a man on a path of engineering would eventually turn into a race car driver. Looking back, when Lester was 8 years old, his parents would take him to the famous American track called Laguna Seca Raceway. This track is a world-class raceway located in Monterey, California. Little did anyone know that that day, Lester would fall in love with the sport of racing. As soon as he could, he would acquire his license as a teenager. His parents, like a lot of African American parents, did not know how to get Lester into racing. Most of his friends were athletes in basketball or football, and his parents did not have the money for Lester to race at a high level. I just want to make a note here. Racing is very, very expensive, and to go from an amateur race car driver to a professional is very hard, especially when you don't have the funds for replacing and repairing race cars. Lester would start off street racing, in which was a way for him to express what he loved. Eventually, people would tell Bill how good he was on the street, and for him to take it to a track before he hurt someone. This would be easier said than done. His parents did not support this decision, but told him to find something such as engineering to support his choice financially. Being from Northern California, Lester wanted to stay in California and had to choose between Stanford and Berkeley University. So his dad made a deal with him. He told Lester, "You have two choices. You can walk and ride your bike around the farm, which is Stanford University, or you could go to Berkeley, and if you do, I will help you buy your first race car." Lester would go on to attend Berkeley University. During his 4 years of college, he would work for Hewlett-Packard. Once graduating, he would continue to work as an engineer for the company for 16 years. Though engineering was good, Lester had racing on his mind, and the first thing he did was buy a race car. Soon after that, he would start racing and became Northern California's Rookie of the Year and Northern California Road Racing Champion. With this confidence and accolades, Lester would think that he was turning pro. This was further from the truth. Racing, especially professional racing, is filled with politics and money. In professional racing, you can bring a big bag of money and pay your way in. You do need talent, but you also need money and backing. Racing is different from many other sports like basketball, where an organization pays an individual to come play for them. In motorsports, there isn't necessarily stepping stones like football or basketball for young children all the way up to full-grown adults that are doing it professionally. You can bring a big checkbook and have a chance to race. Lester would soon find out, especially in his early racing life, corporate America would not run to sponsor him. When Lester did finally qualify, 2 announcers in Nascar were doubting that his time would be fast enough, but at the end of the lap, he surprisingly put down a very, very fast time and qualified, and the announcers were very, very surprised to say the least. Not going pro right away was discouraging to Lester. This was a man that had achieved being a great engineer, managing over 20 engineers, becoming a research and development project manager, and making over 6 figures. Still, he could not do what he truly loved to do. Lester did not care about these things as much as racing. What made him truly happy in this world was racing. Running in the SCCA in the IMSA series from 1989 to 1996 would lead him up to NASCAR. His debut IMSA series race at Sears Point International Raceway, he qualified 9th and finished 12th in a Chevrolet Camaro. That same year, he would win at Sears Point. In 1990 and the early 90s, he would race a unsponsored Oldsmobile Cutlass for Rocket Sports in Portland and Mid-Ohio. In 1996, he would race at the SCCA events at Elkhart Lake, Watkins Clean, and Sears Point. In 1998 and 1999, he finished 5th and 10th at the 24 Hours of Daytona. And also, between the years of 1998 and 1999, he quit corporate America for racing. Lester would marry his wife Cheryl. Cheryl would make a deal with Lester. Since he loved racing so much, he would quit his 16-year stable, high-paying job, and if he didn't become a race car driver in 3 years, he would return back to corporate America. He believed in himself so much, he applied his skills he learned to leverage networking to help his endeavors. He would eventually get into a situation with Dodge, in which Dodge had a program to support one driver. All Dodge asked is to bring your talent and your helmet. Lester would try out going against many amazing drivers. Lester would come out on top, and this would be the start of never going back to a life in which he settled. Since 1960, there were only 4 African Americans in NASCAR, and Lester's transition to the South from Northern California would be a big cultural difference. Going to the conservative Bible Belt southeast of the United States was very different from where Lester came from. Lester came from the state of California, which is known to be and or has a stereotype that it is more forward-thinking than other places in America. And so with that, Lester had to get out of his comfort zone and be on a racing team which also had a different culture than his. In 1999, he would become the first African American to race in the Busch Series race in NASCAR. He would race in number 8 Dura Lube Chevrolet Monte Carlo, owned by Bobby Hillin Jr. Lester would start 24th and ran in the top 10 most of the day. Unfortunately, he would have an accident and finish 21st that day. The next season, he would race trucks at Portland. He started 31st and finished 25th in number 23 Redline oil truck. In that race, he would also race with Bobby Norfleet, which was also a fellow African American. The next season, his best finish would be 8th out of 5 races. In 2002, he went full-time racing in a Craftsman Truck Series in NASCAR. He had 16 finishes between the 11th and the 18th place on this year. He would become runner-up for NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Rookie of the Year. Up until 2006, Lester would qualify and place better at different tracks around America in the NASCAR series. In 2006, he would fail to finish in the top 10 highest points accumulated, with his best finish being 8th place in Kentucky. Lester would part ways with the number 15 Billy Motorsports Chevy due to sponsorship problems. Unable to find another car in NASCAR, he would leave NASCAR to return to sports car racing in 2008. In 2021, Lester came out of retirement to compete in NASCAR Truck Series once more. He would start the Truck Series at his new home track of Atlanta. This was the same track that he had his debut in the Cup Series of 2006. He would be sponsored by Camping World and local Ford dealerships, with the team being David Gill Racing. Lester has raced in the Busch Series, but dreams of winning the holy grail of NASCAR, the Winston Cup Series. Now with over 17 years of experience in the Busch Series, one son, in his dreams of racing, NASCAR could yet not have seen the true potential of Lester. Also check out Bill Lester's book, Winning in Reverse. So yo guys, until next time, please check out my online art collection called Diaspora, which is African inspired art, and it's really dope because I'm actually going to add some car art into there as well, right? Driver in their cars into it, which I think is really, really going to be dope. And it's down there in the link. Like me on all social medias, which is African Network, which is Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, Snapchat. Each one teach one. Always love each other. Always learn from each other. And yo, guys, until next time, keep racing. The finish line's just ahead. Peace. One love.